I recently finished Walter Isaacson's The Innovators. Besides being a wonderful read, there are tons of things I didn't know about the history of the tech industry. Here are my favourites. Ada Lovelace was Lord Byron's daughter, and her mother put her in math classes to try to curb any romantic tendencies she may have gotten from him. This led to her being in love with the beauty and symmetry of both math and the humanities, which would be a trend for most of the innovators, like Steve Jobs so many years later. Alan Turing was gay and was arrested and convicted of gross indecency, and sentenced to hormone therapy, which destroyed his ability to think and live a normal life. He committed suicide a year later after his sentencing. Humanity lost who knows how many years of advancement because of bigoted policies. Turing was pardoned in 2013, posthumously. Most men thought programming early computers wasn't glamorous, so they let women do it. And women like Grace Hopper turned out to be very good at it and defined the field. John Bardeen and William Brattain were the actual scientists who created the semiconductor at Bell Labs. William Shockley, their manager, basically attached his name to the patent and is widely remembered as the original innovator. Shockley set up his semiconductor business in Northern California to get away from his bad reputation at Bell Labs on the East Coast and to take care of his ailing mother. This decision is one of the reasons that Silicon Valley even exists. Similar to Hollywood setting up in LA to try to get away from Edison's patent protections. Arthur Rock was basically the first venture capitalist who funded Robert Noyce and Gordon Moore to create Fairchild Semiconductor and eventually Intel. Jack Kilby from Texas Instruments and Noyce both invented the microchip, independent of each other, at roughly the same time. The Altair, one of the first home computers, was basically invented because Ed Roberts, the founder, needed a new product because his previous product line was badly failing. Linux was basically coded almost entirely by Linus Torvald at the age of 21 in Finland, who then open-sourced it. Bill Gates and Paul Allen went on to program BASIC for the Altair, but had to create an OS under 5 megabytes, which is why they called the company Microsoftware, or Microsoft. Both Bill Gates and Steve Jobs stole the idea for the GUI from Xerox PARC, a research lab in Palo Alto. The World Wide Web could have been set up to allow for microtransactions, so every time your page is linked to, you get a little money. This would have created better incentives than selling ad space and trying to generate click-through rates. Mark Andreessen said one of his regrets is wishing something like Bitcoin or Ethereum was around back then to allow for these microtransactions when he was building Mosaic. Both Larry Page and Sergey Brin were rejected from MIT and both went to Stanford instead. Stanford has a more robust business focus and on-site patent office, and being at Stanford probably contributed to the early success of Google.